I apologize. I'm still getting over this damn cold. It's been like 2 weeks now. So you're gonna hear me clear my throat and coughing a little bit. So I apologize. But Linkin Park released a new song off their From Zero album. I know a little bit about this one just because of friends and stuff reaching out to me who don't know how to keep spoilers out of my head. This is showcasing Emily's, I guess, this is her own song in terms of it's just her singing. Obviously the band plays the music, but just her singing. There's nothing from Mike singing and nothing from Mike rapping, and it's more of like a poppy, I guess, feel. That's all I know. I'm excited to hear this. I think expecting that will allow me to appreciate it a little bit more. I'm one of those fans who kind of didn't really enjoy as much when Linkin Park did more of their poppy stuff earlier in life. As an older person now, in my mid 30s now, I kind of get it. I get that music. I get that a band needs to evolve. I get that a band needs to kind of grow as they grow, right? We don't want, a 40-year-old, 45-year-old pretending to have teen angst. It just doesn't work. So I understand it now as I'm older. I want to listen to this. We're going to talk about it a little bit. We'll talk about Emily's voice. Depending on if it's good or bad, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that it's good because everything she's done for the band so far has been good. If you guys are new to the channel, what I like to do is I'll watch the video, listen to the song. I'll stop here and there where I see fit. And then at the end, we'll talk about the message. We'll talk about the music. I do have a Patreon, lots of cool stuff on there. I did try to recreate Giving Up on Guitar. I also have a bunch of full breakdowns where I talk about chord progressions, song structure, production, all that stuff. Also, TV show reactions, movie reactions are on my Patreon. You can do a full watch along with me for a bunch of TV shows and movies like Deadpool and Wolverine, like Ted Lasso, which I'm currently on episode 3 of right now. So a lot of cool stuff on the Patreon. So if you do like my content and you want to support the channel, that is the best way to do it. Again, it's not expected or required, but it does help the channel out a lot. Without further ado, let's go ahead. Over Each Other, official music video by Linkin Park. Here we go.
This is the letter that I didn't write. Looking for color in the black and white. Skyscrapers we created on shaky ground. I'm trying to find my patience. You won't let me breathe, and I'm not ever right. All we are is talking over each other. There's nothing underneath. It's all a waste of time.
I wonder if that's her, like, in real life IRL girlfriend, or if it's just an actress. But really cool the way, like, you guys know I'm all for inclusion and them kind of showing that in the video. I have no issue with it. I think it's cool. Yeah, very much so. More of the, what is it, Minutes to Midnight. Not even that, actually. It's kind of more of the stuff after that. I'm gonna get into that section of Linkin Park's work after this. Yeah, I mean, it's all her vocal chops. Let's go back a lot.
I'm trying to find my patience, but you won't let me breathe.
Hold on, was that Mike singing backups? I think it is.
I'm trying to find my patience, but you won't let me breathe, and I'm not ever right. All we are is talking over each other. There's nothing underneath. It's all a waste of time. All we are is talking over each other. Over each other. Reaching for satellites, but all alone. Under your breath, you're saying that I was wrong. Oh, the skyscrapers we created are coming down, free falling to the pavement.
I love her when she's kind of singing more of the I guess upper tonality using the upper tonality of her voice. It's like that grit and that almost like distortion in her voice is naturally just comes through, right? A lot of singers will do that. I mean, it's kind of the same here, but like as a technique to sound cool. I honestly think that hers is just it's a natural thing. When she gets up there, it gets that grit, it gets that distortion. Really cool and unique about her voice that I like. Look, nothing special here in terms of like song structure or anything like that, right? It's just straight up song where she's singing, showing her chops. The lyrics are interesting. We'll talk about that in a second.
All alone, under your breath, you're saying that I was wrong. Oh, the skyscrapers we created are coming down, free falling to the pavement. 'Cause you won't let me breathe, and I'm not ever right. All we are is talking over each other. There's nothing underneath. It's all a waste of time. All we are is talking over each other. Are we over each other? Are we over each other?
It's really interesting, like how her vocals work in terms of her higher registers. Like for most people, when they sing those high register things, I would assume that they sing it right. I feel like it sounds like she's yelling, which she is, but also like it's still in tune. It's still singing, right? Like that part that she's singing right there. I'll see if I can point it out.
Are we over each other?
Right there. Like that whole part, that little part right there sounds like she's actually like screaming, but she's still in tune and it still sounds good. So like, it's just, again, a unique sound of hers that I really like.
Over each other. Are we over each other? I can't go to sleep. I lie awake at night. I'm so tired of talking over each other.
God, that grit sounds so good, man.
Underneath, I wanna see your side. We don't have to be talking over each other. Over each other. Over each other. Over each other. Over each other.
Crazy. That twist at the end, right? We're going to talk about the meaning of the song and all that stuff, but I have a couple things. The whole time where she's like freaking out right here and nobody's listening because she died, bro. That's crazy. So let's first talk about her singing for a second, because there's been a lot of hate going her way for, I mean, how do I want to put this? Linkin Park's very much so been a band that has kind of allowed their live shows to be that they are live, right? There's no pitch correction built into the shows, which a lot of pop artists do. And it's about the performance. It's about being, natural and true to what's happening on stage. And I think a lot of people are upset with Emily, just the fact that they're continuing the band on without Chester. And I mentioned before, I'm not going to get into that whole thing because I already talked about that. But I think there's already disdain for her, and they're waiting for her to fail. And anytime there's, oh look, she didn't hit that note or this, that they just pile on her. It's a stupid thing that's happening, right? If you guys go back and actually listen to a lot of their live stuff with Chester was sharp and flat constantly live. And again, I'm not trying to shit on Chester because we all love Chester. I miss Chester. Obviously, the band won't be the same without him. But let's kind of think of this rationally, please, please, because you guys are missing out on good music just because you have some sort of, biased opinion of this, right? It's not somebody you wanted or somebody that you may not necessarily like, but sometimes we do have to separate the artist from, not that I even think the stuff people are saying about her is actually legitimate, but sometimes we have to separate the artist from music. Now that being said, I think this is a great showcase of her singing talent, right? We had Emptiness Machine, which was her and Mike kind of singing together, and how she sounds good. She sounds great with Mike. She had her own little part there. Mike had his own little part. That was great. Then we had Heavy as the Crown, where it was like her rock voice. She screams for that 14, 15 seconds, whatever it was. And she's, grit. She got that grit and all that. This is straight up singing. This is her singing in a pop rock type of format. And it shows that she can sing well. She can kind of cross both those genres of pop and rock together very well. She can have emotion in her voice, right? Which a lot of people seem to think she doesn't. Really cool. I do like that Mike kind of did do some of the backup vocals here, but they're very subtle, right? Very cool, man. I mean, look, I'm still one of those people, and I've mentioned this for other bands that I've reacted to already that I love, like Falling in Reverse did kind of like a pop cover of Last Resort. I said it wasn't my type of music, but I understand, the work it takes to arrange, the vocal chops, the production quality that goes behind all of that. Like, this is a very good song. I don't have to like it for it to be a good song either. And I think that's what people are forgetting too, is you don't have to like something for it to still be good, right? Just because you don't like it doesn't mean it's not good. I think a lot of people aren't going to like it because it's, again, more of their poppy side. But I still think it's a good song, man. Like, I think the story behind it too is like, we're in relationships. It's about compromise. We're always trying to be right or be the one who's right in this moment, and always talking over each other because we don't want to listen. We just want to let them know we are right, right? And we lose out on that communication. We lose out on that talking to each other and trying to resolve our issues instead of just yelling over each other, to the point where in this case they were arguing, they crashed, she died, leaving her significant other to basically mourn her, right? I think the message there is really cool. I think the visuals for this were pretty like subtle, but to see like basically the almost like the out of body experience, not knowing you're gone, wondering why people aren't like listening to you, and wondering what's going to happen to your significant other, right? Then to find out that you are the one who's dead. Really cool video. But yeah, I wouldn't say this is my favorite of the ones that they've released, but it's not a bad song, man. Like I said, something could be not my cup of tea and still be a good song. So and I don't want every single song on the album to be like Heavy as the Crown. That'd be cool. But I don't want that. I want to see not only the band grow, like I said before, but also I want to see what Emily can do, right? This is her introduction to us. This is us being introduced to her and what she can do. We've seen the kind of mixture of kind of the rock with mixed with a little bit of like the poppy undertones. Then we heard the straight rock with Heavy as a Crown. Now we're getting the straight pop right now with a little bit of rock undertones, right? And I honestly think her voice made it have the rock undertones, because without the grit and the distortion, it really would just be a pop song, right? So yeah, man, I really liked it. I mean, it's not I wouldn't actively go out and seek listening to the song. I say that, and it's actually catchy, so I probably will. But again, not my favorite of the ones that they released, but it's a good song. Like, I want to see variety from the album. That's what a good album is. You have, even if it only has 8 to 10 songs, I don't know how many are on it, I haven't checked, but 10 songs, you want like, maybe 4 or 5 of them, or maybe 4 of them to be straight rock, and then 2 or 3 of them to be mixture, and then have a couple pop songs on there. That's fine, right? Mix it up. Make the album make sense, have ups and downs. You don't want that to be straight energy and then fall off at the end. You want this to be kind of a wave of energy and a wave of emotion. So really cool. I'm always going to be excited for new Linkin Park. Like, and I enjoy the fact that they're making new music. So anyways, if you guys like that, please make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell on my channel. It helps the channel out a lot. I do appreciate you guys hanging out with me today. And please do remember that good vibes are contagious.